CD Projekt Red has just confirmed that Cyberpunk 2077 online multiplayer will have microtransactions, and they are now willing to monetize the game in order to keep the development of Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer game mode going for a long-term period. Now, previously, CD Projekt Red had made a statement saying they are not willing to add microtransactions in Cyberpunk, and that they want to leave this to other greedy developers and publishers out there in the gaming industry. Now, of course, we all know that CD Projekt Red wanted to humiliate publishers like EA, Activision, and Bethesda, and plenty more greedy cash-grabbing companies out there. But right now, it is really hard to believe that they are now announcing that Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer will have microtransactions. Now, CD Projekt Red reached on a bit further and gave us more explanation on why they have now changed their minds into adding microtransactions into their game, where previously they had promised that they're not going to be implementing any sorts of monetization in Cyberpunk. Now, according to CD Projekt Red, the reason to why they are now willing to add microtransactions in Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer mode is for the sole purpose of keeping the game updated with brand new content every now and then, and they're not planning to develop more DLCs and more gameplay content for the multiplayer mode of Cyberpunk 2077. At first, in the beginning, they had no vision or even plans to invest money into a multiplayer project, but it seems like CD Projekt Red is really passionate about making Cyberpunk 2077 online multiplayer mode much more fun to play with more content that players can get access to in the game. Now, of course, all of these are not possible if they don't get constant funding after the post-launch of Cyberpunk 2077, and if they run out of funds, then the multiplayer mode will be left with no future updates or DLCs or any sorts of content that players feel like they want to come back and grind the game so that they can get access to those all-new content. Now, a good example of this is Rockstar Games' Red Dead Online, which of course had a perfect single-player game mode. The story was amazing, the main character was perfectly well done, and all the players had a good time until they beat the game 100%. But when it comes to Red Dead Online though, the game has absolutely no content. There is nothing fun to do in the game other than griefing or even trolling new players. But when it comes to multiplayer games, the most important part of all is to have a game overloaded with content so that the players have multiple options to do as they please. Similar to what we have seen with GTA Online, the game has a lot of content, you name it and you have it, and that is perfect example of how an open world multiplayer game should be designed. And all of these content and monthly DLC updates and seasonal pass, festive special events and daily missions, and all of these content are not possible if Rockstar Games don't make their money from selling the shark cards. Now, of course, I get it, many of us hate microtransactions, but CD Projekt Red says that they sure will be adding microtransaction monetization in Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer mode, but they've promised that it's going to be a consumer-friendly system and will also be worth every penny that the player spends into the game. Now, CD Projekt Red also said that they will not make the microtransaction system feel like a game-breaking feature that could make some player have better loots or gears than someone who hasn't spent any money into the game. They have now promised that they will add a monetization system that is a really wise one and something that players are going to be happy about. Now, we all know that CD Projekt Red is by far the most consumer-friendly game developers from the beginning till this day, and I honestly think that they are trying to keep up the reputation they built so far over all of these years in this industry. Now, another biggest reason to why CD Projekt Red says that they are now forced into adding microtransaction system in Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer is due to the fact that the company has completely run out of funds to further proceed into the game development. The studio says that they have spent a lot of money into Cyberpunk 2077 and recently with the Witcher 3 project for the Nintendo Switch. Now, of course, the way they have ported Witcher 3, a highly graphical demanding game, into Nintendo kind of a hardware is something that is amazing, and I think that's something only developers like CD Projekt Red can do, because the developers at CDPR are super talented, and the money they profited from Nintendo sales for The Witcher 3 was again completely spent into Cyberpunk 2077 as well. And of course, now the team will need more fun to continue the production of the multiplayer game mode, and now CD Projekt Red says that the team is now requiring more fund in order to continue the production of the multiplayer game mode of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, the guy who is taking the interview went on and asked a few questions to CD Projekt Red about on what type of microtransaction systems are CDPR planning to add into Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer, to which the developers replied saying, right now it is definitely too early to share any details on that or even give guidance as the project is in its early stages. And this is the first multiplayer game that is being made by CD Projekt Red, and they surely don't want to screw this up with predatory monetizations. Now again, the interviewer further went on and asked some more questions where he asked the developers if they have any plans to make Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer a free-to-play title supported by microtransactions. And however, the management wasn't really ready to answer that one particular question. Now, I honestly think that they adding microtransaction in Cyberpunk 2077 online multiplayer is not really a bad thing to do, since we have seen how Rockstar Games have been able to constantly bring out content to GTA Online just because they have raised fund from selling shard cards, which are of course further invested into the development of the game. And honestly speaking, shard cards in GTA Online is not as bad as what people really say it is, because you sure can make hella money in GTA Online if you know what to do and what not to do. And I in fact have only spent once to buy shard cards that's worth about like $10 back in the days, I guess, and I still own almost every content that's available in the GTA Online. And that basically shows how microtransaction can be done in the right way and not in a way that forces players to buy it or quit the game completely. And I honestly think that this move will make the game better in many ways, with content as well as dedication for the team on giving us more DLCs after the post-launch of the game. Now, I really want to know, what do you guys think about the fact that microtransactions are coming to Cyberpunk 2077 multiplayer game mode? Are you guys happy with what CD Projekt Red are going with? Or has this even changed your decision into not buying the game anymore? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Let's see how many people watching this video want or don't want to see microtransactions in Cyberpunk 2077 online multiplayer. Please do leave your feedbacks in the comment section. I will try my best to reply to every single one of you guys in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the video or found this useful, please drop a like on this video, as that does help the channel out. And if you're new to this channel, or if this is your first video that you're watching on my channel, then you should totally know that I make daily videos on news, updates, leaks, and gameplay videos on Cyberpunk 2077. So if that's your jam, then consider subscribing to my channel and turn your bell notifications on with settings set to all notifications, so that YouTube can let you know when my videos get uploaded on my channel. So in that case, you will never miss out on any new updates on Cyberpunk 2077. With that being said, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Till then, take care fams, and goodbye.